Hello guys. So I have something to say. I love crepes. I love crepes. I think they're great. It's one of my favorite things to eat outside. My problem with crepes is that whenever I cook them with eggs in them and I'm the one putting the eggs on there, I just cannot swallow them after because I'm just so bothered always with eggs in sweet things. Like for me in my head, eggs goes always with, like eggs would go with salty, savory things. So, and the smell of them in my crepes always bothered me. So I have a recipe now. I have a recipe for you guys how to make crepes without eggs and without, I don't use and I don't drink anyways cow milk. I always use oat milk and it's so good. They turn so good. So I'm super excited to share them with you. Okay, let's go for the first cooking thing in my channel ever. Okay guys, let's start. Ignore the mess. I hope you don't hear the booktube things I watch there. So, first things first. Pam-pararam. We're gonna start with a cup of flour. So I'm just gonna measure the flour here. And you can see it. But yeah, I'm just gonna start with that. Okay. I think that's good to go. I feel like it's good. That's good. Then we need so that's like flour, normal flour, nothing fancy. Then I will put baking powder here, baking powder, and then a bit of vanilla sugar. I'm gonna just mix them well. And then I'm also going to add sugar, and this depends on you, how much you want to put. I will put quite a bit because I like sugar, but you don't have to, guys. That's just me. That's just me. I think that's good. That's enough sugar. So then we have to like mix our dry elements together, all together. Mix them well. We're gonna add the milk, and I'm adding 1 cup of milk. So for that 1 cup of flour, I usually add a cup this big of milk. And as I told you guys, I have oat milk here. I love this brand. It's called Oatly, and that's the one I use. So I am using a cup of milk there. Here. There we go. It's like mix. Okay, we can add a tiny bit of milk. Guys, give it your all. Why mix it? Give it your all. So then you can add butter that I just melted. There we go. Also mix the mix together. And then you guys should add some oil, so vegetable oil. Basically this is a vegan crepe recipe. So I'm just gonna add 1 spoon of that oil and a pinch of salt. Okay. Just a pinch of salt and mix all of that again. Mix it well. And don't forget to add a bit of vanilla essence. A tiny bit here. Just a bit. I think that's enough. Yeah. and we keep mixing more, and it smells so good because there's no eggs. There are no eggs. I'm so excited about this eggless situation. I will leave it aside to rest for like 10 minutes and then I'll start cooking. Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing great and that you are surviving and living and enjoying. Oh, my neighbors are making so much noise. And yeah, enjoying your days even under these circumstances. I want to say a huge thank you for everything you send me, all the sweet messages. I'm so thankful for you guys. I also hope you enjoyed this little sequence of a vlog or videos because you guys seemed to really like those in the previous lockdown video I made. It was such random clips from Ramadan, before Ramadan, after Ramadan. It's like random clips I filmed for you because you requested those, and tada, we have this new format which is a little vlog and then a book presentation or talk. I love this format as well. If you've missed my latest video, I will link it here and you can go and watch it. It's a little escape, a travel escape from my last travel with my sister in February, right before this entire universal situation happened, and it's just very soothing, very calming, very just will take you somewhere else. But now let's discuss the book. Alright guys, so the book we're discussing today, as you might have seen from the title, is Station 11 by Emily St John Mandel. You might have seen this book nowadays in a lot on Bookstagram and BookTube, and yeah, and this is because it's about a pandemic that wipes out all humanity. Yeah, so that's why we're reflecting here if it was a good idea for me to read it during these times. I wanted to pick this book up for such a long time, and when I started seeing everyone talking about it for obvious reasons, I was like, maybe that's the moment, that's the oh my god, that's the perfect moment to read it. So was it a good idea? First of all, this is about this pandemic, of course, that destroys humanity, and humans go extinct, and we follow a group of survivors 20 years after, so it's post-apocalyptic, and our focus is particularly on this traveling symphony, or this symphony that travels between different human settlements of survivors and performs Shakespeare plays and music from the old times, and most of these take place in North America, mostly the US and Canada. And yeah, so we're following these people. So to start off, first of all, I want to talk about the moments where, when I was reading and it hit me that something similar was going on. It was mostly in the beginning when they started talking about supermarket hoarding. So there's this character that goes to the grocery store and literally buys everything, and so much water and so much toilet paper, and I was like, oh wow, that's actually happening. And also when they speak about commercial air travel being stopped and interrupted, but mostly when one doctor here calls from a hospital and compares the virus to SARS, which is exactly what COVID-19 is. So when he said that it's a flu that's just like SARS, I was like, oh my god, this is exactly the case with COVID-19. But yeah, this one also is super infectious and super contagious, and it has a mortality rate of 90%. Of course, this is what explains the post-apocalyptic aspect of it, and it's a hyperbole because literature. But yeah, when I was reading the similarities, they creeped me out a bit, but that was it. Then I was really completely taken by the story, because at the heart of the story is something completely different. The focus is not so much the virus or what basically brought humanity as we know it to an end, but the meaning of living. This aspect of survival versus life is what is truly observed here and represented by this caravan or this traveling symphony. And mostly it's this concept of survival is not enough. There is this quote from Star Trek, and it's the motto of this traveling symphony, which literally says surviving is not enough, and that's where art comes into play. That's where the performances of these Shakespeare plays comes into place, and they go between these settlements and they bring this sort of joy or this sort of anticipation to these people and bring them back to the old time ways of entertainment. And that's what I love mostly, is how art is the main reason why we live. And it reminds me of a quote from the Dead Poets Society. If you remember, he said that engineering, medicine, these are noble pursuits and they are necessary to live in, to life. But poetry, literature, music, these are the things we live for. And it's literally something that's so prevailing here. And you know, it makes you stop for 1 second and just look at art and artists. And nowadays we hear a lot of people say things like, okay, they say this to artists, if you're struggling so much financially, why didn't you pursue a career that would give you a certain financial security? And obviously there's people who just want to shake them and tell them you cannot say these things, because it's thanks to artists that we have books, that we have poetry, that we have the movies we watch, that we have the TV shows we watch, that we have the music we listen to, that we have the beautiful paintings and splash of colors on canvas that we go and see in museums or digital art as well. It's thanks to these people that we have beautiful prints, beautiful fabrics, beautiful clothes, beautiful shoes and bags, and so many expression of design in our everyday life. It's thanks to these people that I love walking so much in Munich or around Europe, or I don't know, just walking in general and enjoy the mesmerizing architecture around me. It's all thanks to artists, and I feel that this book is a little, you know, wink wink to all these artists, and to stop and appreciate the beauty of art. And yeah, but other than that, there's also beautiful elements in this book. There are these this is what I really love in a lot of books, and I always think that authors are such geniuses for doing this, is bringing characters together. So of course we follow these survivors and see what they were before the pandemic and before the apocalypse. Where did they come from? What did their life look like? And they all connect into this very, very complicated maze or network, and they all related somehow, even if in the smallest of details. But I think it's such a great, like, very, very, very good work of writing, basically. And the metaphors are so beautiful here, so incredibly beautiful, so well written, so hopeful, so nice. Like, what I got from this book at the end was the hope that came through it. There was also this thing that I loved, or the message in it is this cyclic nature of things, that everything in life is a cycle. It comes and it goes. Civilizations, people, feelings, circumstances. It's all up and downs. Of course, there's huge scales like an apocalypse, but there are also smaller scales, like in our own lives, the changes we go to. And somehow art is always here for you one way or another. And it explores that, and explores topics like, you know, the quicker and the sooner we get, we really get to accept and be in peace with this idea of life being a cycle of ups and downs and things coming and going, I won't say the happier we will be, but definitely the more lightly we will walk through this life. And so these are topics that were discussed here, and I loved that. And yeah, so when I was reading this, it was not stressful or anxious, or I wasn't anxious, because it was very hopeful. And it's something I'm so thankful and grateful I read during this time, because I can look at it and say, I read this during that time and it was a perfect fit for me as a reader. Now, of course, guys, please know yourselves. If you're prone to anxiety, to panic attacks, if you're anxious, stay away from that. It's definitely could be triggering under these circumstances, so really know what you can take currently and go for that. If this is not something that will be good for your mental well-being and mental health, just stay away from it, because there are a lot of things to challenge your mental health currently, and no need to add something we do for pleasure and something we love, which is reading, to the list. So I will leave you up here the books that I recommend for lockdown and for these circumstances that are really light and nice and fluffy, so you will find them here. And as for me, there's no regret for reading this. I'm happy about that. So yeah, this is my little discussion about this beauty, which was, by the way, a 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. Okay guys, as a closing note, I want to say thank you so much for being here. You guys are incredible. I am so thankful for all the sweet messages I receive from you. I know I'm saying this all the time, but truly guys, wow. I get messages like, hi, I just was outside today and I saw this and I thought about you and I just want to check up on you. And I'm like, oh my god, these people, they never met me in real life, but the love is so genuine and I'm so thankful. I go to bed so happy and so thankful and just incredibly thankful for you guys every day. You have no idea how much you helped me through this. Like, you have no idea. I don't know if you genuinely helped me just by being there and by watching these, by just sending me these messages that most times I can't fully grasp. And the genuine love and care. You guys are so genuine and you guys are amazing, every single one of you. And one thing I really realized, that I am so glad I'm doing YouTube. I'm so glad I have this community of people, which is you guys, that are just amazing. It's such a small community, but such a, you know, they always say quality over quantity, and it's controversial, but I'm like, these people, if 20 of you come and send me these messages, literally, that means the world to me, and that means that I'm so thankful, I'm so grateful. You guys are amazing. The number of people that tell me that they've been reading thanks to me during this lockdown and is insane, and I feel so fulfilled just by getting this messages saying that I helped you getting into books and that I just helped you, talking to you. Wow, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. A huge thank you, a huge thank you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of us. And I don't know what to say. You guys are awesome. I will talk to you soon, but before that, please let me know in the comment below how you're feeling, if you've read Station 11 or if you're reading anything that's been good to you. And yeah, how are you doing? How are you dealing with everything? And I will talk to you again very soon. Bye guys.